We are just past the bottom of the hour as we now head back to the phone line as well. And this time on the phone, it is Hedgesville football head coach Matt Faircloth. Coach, how are you today, sir?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing just fine as your team. Let's get right to it. Fell to Musselman last week. Obviously not how you wanted. 53-0, a rough one. But your thoughts on the game?
Well, I think early, it was 14-0 until about like 20 seconds left before halftime, and they punched one in there on fourth down. I thought defensively, we made one key mistake there early, gave up a touchdown, got our eyes in the backfield. I felt like we should, at minimum, went into that halftime down 14-0. Offensively, we went to, tried to do some new stuff just for the simple fact that we have right now we're down 8 starters to season-ending injuries, and trying to find ways to get these younger kids in the game with not throwing too much at them. But it's one of those things where now going into the future, we can't say that we don't have varsity experience, because every young kid we have is getting varsity experience the rest of the way.
Through the, let's call it experimenting on ways to change up the game plan with your injuries, what have you felt like has stood out as sort of the things that you can carry forward, whether it's certain players that can get more playing time or certain sort of things that you have done differently that you felt like have worked, where you say, okay, we did this out of necessity, but we can keep this going forward?
Yeah, I think we're looking at what we can be in the long run. I think we're going to be more of, I'm looking at, like, you look at Musselman, they get into the single wing, they do some different things there because it fits the type of kids that they have and how hard those kids play. And I think going forward for us, that's what you're going to see from us, is more of a line it up and try to get some angles, try to get down blocks, try to give our running backs and fullbacks opportunities to get downhill, because I think we're deeper at running back, fullback, and H-back than we are anywhere right now. So for going forward, I think that's where we're going to be. And the kids have fully bought into it over last week and then into the 2 practices this week. The big difference from Friday night to now is they're finally starting to feel a little comfortable in the change. When you lose, we lost 6 receivers in 4 weeks, so it sort of depletes your receiving core when you lose 6, and then losing our quarterback Friday night, and then our second quarterback was already out for the next 4 to 5 weeks. So it's one of those things. We keep adapting to what's going on, and the kids keep staying in it and trusting what we're trying to do.
You mentioned Chaz goes out on Friday. Is he expected to come back?
No.
So what's next now for your team at that position?
It's getting back to what we were trying to get accomplished Friday night, and getting into that smash mouth style offense and grinding the clock and limit possessions, and give ourselves a chance by time of possession, defense get a couple stops, bend don't break. But like I said, you figure you're down 6 starters on offense and you're down another 5 on defense. So when you're starting to plug and play with a lot of young kids, even younger kids than what we were already playing with. This Friday night we're going to have 8 sophomores, 2 juniors, and 1 senior starting on the offensive side of the ball. So, we expect, it's going to be a process, but at the end of the day, these kids have bought into, okay, it's next man up mentality. Let's go out, get our reps, get better, and use each game to move forward.
Have the injuries this year felt more like a stroke of bad luck, or have you noticed any sort of trend to where you could say, if we change this around with our habits, training regimens, such and such, to where you'll be able to stay healthier in the future? Or has it just been bad luck?
Well, you can't. We do injury prevention all off season. So, injury prevention is more from muscle, tendons, ligaments, strengthening stuff. But when it comes to bones snapping, there ain't a whole lot you can do there other than, hopefully you're getting enough calcium in your diet. But that's all it's been for us is, a lot of breaks. And at the end of the day, I think any time that bones break in the game of football, I think it's always getting rolled up on, landing wrong, planting wrong and somebody gets into the side of your leg, this, that, or the other. So a lot of those things I think is just stroke of bad luck.
How do you keep your team positive here at this point in the season?
I'll be honest with you. They keep themselves positive. They come in every day ready to work. They understand the process of, we returned one true starter on our O-line. We returned, Chaz was our most experienced guy with him and Chris Williams on the back end. So they knew going into this that it would be a process to make sure that, let's get our reps, let's get our progression, let's make sure that we're doing all the right things. And like I said, come Monday, they came in and they were ready to go. They took their lumps on Friday night, but they've always came into film on Monday and understood that, yes, we messed up on some stuff. Let's fix it. Let's get better. Let's move on.
What sort of things are you looking at for preparing for Parkview this Friday?
I think it's just continue the process of, developing our identity and what we're going to be here in the future, and that's going to be that smash mouth style football, and, making sure we have the game plan on, how they're going to line up. Our rules are our rules, and block it how we're supposed to block it, hit the holes when we get them. And the biggest thing on defense is, like, if we didn't get our eyes in the backfield on Friday night, like I said, it's probably 14-0 going into the half against a really, really tough opponent in Musselman, because you can't really prepare for that offense in just a week. So I thought defensively, first half we played really well, but then injuries started mounting up, and before you know it, you're playing a lot of young guys that, it's their first time out there on Friday night. So I think second half really didn't show, what that first group did in the first half, because a lot of the first group wasn't still in there in the second half just due to injuries.
Looking at the other side in Parkview, what's kind of their style of play from what you've been able to see?
They line up. It's a true wing tee offense, and they got a quarterback that can really move, and they got a couple wings that can, if you let them get out in space, they can definitely make you one missed cut and take it to the house. Good size up front. They get off the ball with a purpose. Defensively, we know what we're going to see. We're going to see a 62 box, and we're going to have to block it to what we need to block to get the gaps open.
All right, Coach, if you don't have anything else, we'll move on to the fun question. It's coming from me this week.
All right, let's go.
All right, I'm wondering, through the long days of football season, what keeps you going? Is there any sort of caffeine fix that you have, whether it's coffee or energy drinks? Or we just asked Coach Ray, and he said he drinks about 6 Coca-Colas a day. Do you have anything like that, or do you just go through the day with nothing?
I go to the gym every morning, so I'll be honest. Hopefully, a lot of the young kids don't take this and run with it. But I normally mix my pre-workout with coffee, and I'm in the gym by 8:30 and ready to rock and roll. That's what normally gets my day rolling, and then I'll have a Celsius throughout the day to get me going for practice.
All right, there you go. Thank you for the time, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate it, fellas.
Best of luck to you guys Friday.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.